Hope y'all having a great day, whatever time of day it is. Just make sure y'all enjoy the day. There will be no trailer at the beginning of this video because I feel like this is the first L that Anton Daniels have taken in 2025. We're going to have to piece this together very succinctly because I'm starting this at right at the point where I feel like Anton messed up by defending a female for her commentation. That was a little extreme. She tried to be a little too edgy, I feel. I think she was feeling like she was Anton. She can't get away with this. And I ain't gonna lie, the guy Patrick, he definitely held it down. Let's go ahead and dive into this thing and let's break it down together.
Is a post-interview, her getting fired, her crying, tears. So anybody want to comment on her being fired? Did you guys like her? What did you not like about her?
I know nobody on this panel crazy enough to feel sorry for her big lip, wide mouth, bald-headed ass. I don't feel sorry for the wench, and I'm glad she got fired.
Well, wait, why?
First, she went off big lip, bald headed. All right, we gonna start from there.
Whoa. Anytime I see her, I don't watch the show, but I've seen enough to where she just uses her platform to just spew the just dumbest things that come to her mind. The last time I heard her say something talking about white tears, and then here she come with her nigga tears just like, are we supposed to feel sorry for that heifer? I don't, and I hope nobody else does neither.
I don't feel sorry for her getting fired, but I feel like Dylan tried to be a little too edgy, and she gonna catch herself in a snare trap that she's not gonna be able to get out of.
I'm sensing some self-hate going on here.
Self-hate? What is that? Yeah.
So, I mean, look, man, if you want to criticize her show, that's one thing, but I don't see how a black woman with big lips herself gonna come up here talking about another woman.
So you trying to say that she got big lips because she black? I'm referring to her lips being big because she fat.
I'm just saying, I don't know why your criticism of her started out immediately about how she looked. It's just, I don't think it's necessary. I think, quite frankly, if you want to criticize the show, then okay, right? I mean, the show they're replacing it with is actually, I think, better and more entertaining. I prefer the show with Simone and Michael Steele. I actually do. So I'm not really mad at the show getting canceled. I'm just trying to figure out why your first comment was about how she looked. For what?
Guarantee you, if somebody would have called her big lip and say she spilling out nigga tears, she would not have liked it. This coming from a black female who, when she first came on these panels, she ain't talk like that. I'm just trying to catch her on her trying to transition and think she's something that she not.
Because I don't like how she looked. I don't like what she say. I don't like how she said. I don't like how she treated her guests.
But you don't watch the show.
One-sided. She uses her platform to just be stupid.
But you said you don't watch the show.
About her looks, but let's not say I'm talking about her looks because she's black. So
I just said there's some self-hate going on. I'm just saying.
So if it's self-hate, then what do we have in common? To where
you made two comments.
Reflects
you talked about her. You talked about you don't watch the show, and you talked about her looks. Why?
Anymore.
Okay.
It was a checkmate at that point. She really couldn't say anything because at that point she was bashing on reasons outside her having a horrible show. Now, of course, yes, Reid does have bad rhetoric on her show, but she went further into like a self-hate type of thing to even say like, yeah, nigga tears and big lips. Like,
I don't care if you don't like it, Mr. Patrick.
I don't have to like it. No one has to like. I'm just saying, it doesn't really make sense.
Wait. So let me back up for a minute. You're saying that looks don't matter when it comes to national television?
This is the start of Anton trying to kind of, cape for Dylan to try and protect her a little bit. He redirected the argument back to him because she can't handle this type of argument between the racial thing that she said.
That's not what I said. What I said was her criticism.
No. I'm not asking you what you said. I'm asking you your thoughts. I'm asking you, do you think that looks matter?
Absolutely.
When it comes to national television. So you don't think that it matters the fact that Joy was bald-headed and had blonde hair, a blonde-haired, bald-headed woman, and she would look crazy and she would dress crazy on national television on a regular basis? You don't think that matters?
So what you are saying and your criticism of how she looks is different from what she was saying, right?
No, I'm not talking about what she's saying.
Okay,
I'm
great.
asking you.
You saw he redirected the conversation from the whole how she went very extreme, and now he's redirecting it to Patrick in a whole nother way. I do believe like Anton moved the goalpost slightly from Dylan having that smoke, because she said hers in a way that wasn't set up for a good debate.
All right, so two different things, right?
Conversations. Yeah.
So do I believe that it is important to look a certain corporate way? Unfortunately, yes. Right? I don't think it necessarily should have to be that way. I don't think it's fair that it is that way.
Why don't you think it's fair?
Why don't I think it's fair?
Mm-hmm.
Because we live in a colonialistic world or a colonialistic country, and that colonialistic country is one that says that you need to look a certain way.
Got it.
Let me ask, and Patrick is not wrong about that. You do have to look a certain way in the corporate world, regardless of how you express your personality through your clothing. You can't wear it at the job if you're trying to be corporate. You can have whatever style you want, but if you wear it there, you're possibly gonna look goofy. So he does have a point. That is very true.
In order to have quote unquote acceptance.
So let me ask you a question.
Yep.
Have you ever masturbated to an ugly woman before?
I don't know the relevance of that question.
I feel like he's taking another L right there, because I'm not even gonna lie. If the woman has a nice body and her face isn't all that, yes, I probably busted a nut or two in my time period to a woman that's not as attractive in the face. For everybody, the face doesn't matter. It's about the body. It's about the breastises. So that question doesn't even add into the conversation.
It's very relevant.
Why?
Because if you wouldn't masturbate to an ugly woman, then why would you look to be entertained by one that looked just like it?
Well, first of all, I don't look for that show to be entertaining. I look for
it doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is, carrying yourself and looking a certain type of way matters, and that's the reason why they got cameras. Otherwise, then you could just be on radio.
No. This is one of the first times that I will say I do not agree with Anton, because I will say this: in the space of women, you got two types. You got one that's going to be probably more beautiful. You got one that's not going to be attractive. If a woman that's not attractive, if she can bring out her knowledge and her intellectual properties to create a great environment for news, the whole nine, it's okay. It's going to work. Because every woman that's on TV isn't the most attractive. And that's a fact. There's plenty of women out there that's not super attractive that is on TV. You have some that are very attractive on TV, but do you have some intellectual women that's not as attractive on TV? Yes. So the fact to say that, you have to have only the pretty ones on TV, yes, it's probably more feasible to have prettier ones on TV, but if you're a super intellectual, you can get away with it.
So what you're saying is that in order to have a TV show or to be on TV, you need to be looking at someone that you would masturbate to? I don't get it. I mean,
no. Listen. In the short amount of time,
you're trying to make a false equivalency, man.
No, I'm not. In the short amount of time that I've spoken with you,
I
think that you're intelligent enough to be able to see the two. I think you're able to connect the dots. And the fact of the matter is, we care about effort. It's not even so much just about looks. It's about effort.
I got something for
Reid
that.
regularly showed up and looked like who did it, what, where, and why. And she never even looked like she gave any fucking effort, which honestly, I believe is an insult to Black women, because I think that Black women can put a lot more effort into the way that they look on a regular basis. And also, that's one of the things that I think is our cultural norm, is the fact that we don't put enough effort into the way that we look, and the fact that she is a national representation. And we do care about looks, because that plays into whether or not people want to watch you, especially for women, makes sense.
I'm going to say this. Joy Reid, there's not much more she can do to her face. Joy Reid looks the way how she looks, and there's not more you can add to that. You can't add the makeup. She probably already tried. She tried, I think, eyeliner. She might have a bad scalp to where hair does not grow properly. And I can tell she probably does not want to be wearing weave. So it looked like she tried to go the natural route. Maybe, and I mean, hey, a lot of women try and do it. All of them can't achieve it. Some of them have bad scalp. They have alopecia, like Jada Pinkett. So I do believe that she was trying to do the most she could do with the cards she was given. I know a lot of people got aunties and grandmas out there that's not the most attractive, and that's a fact. You go down a lot of black people family history, they ain't fine. That's a fact. I got aunties that ain't hot. So I do believe that, you know, when you have certain black women that probably are intellectuals and they do make it to that stage, it's only so much you can do to improve it. Her rhetoric, I didn't agree with it, but her looks, you can't control it all the time. Like, I look the way how I look. It's only so much I can do to make it better.
And so if you're saying that it's not relevant, then I would say that you are being dishonest in this conversation. And I understand the debate aspect of this show, and I understand that we're trying to get our points off and stuff, but at the same time, I think that you're being intellectually dishonest because, frankly, we care about when people put effort into what they look like. She should have been slimmer. She should not have had a bald head. She looks stupid.
She can't control the bald head.
And that's in addition to the fact that she was spewing a lot of racist, hateful comments.
For sure.
And, you know, her audience, and the fact of the matter is she got canceled, not just because of that, but she got canceled because of her numbers. So when you start to dissect the numbers.
Now you hit it.
But no, it's all relevant. Because when you start to dissect the numbers, all of those factors that I just named matter. What you look like, how you communicate, whether you're hateful in your rhetoric, all of those things matter.
Let me tell you why he's wrong. The reason why Anton is wrong, and I hate to be saying this, she was on TV too long for it to be just because of her looks. It was because of the ratings and the time period that we are in. We are in the conservative era. We are in the Republican era. The Democrat era is slowly fading out. So it's not as cool to have it on TV, especially when the president has already won as a Republican. Shows like that, it's time to get cut. Like they're cutting some of the Democratic programs and things for, you know, Democratic Party. So it's just the times that we in. She was already winning for a decent amount of time. So he's wrong on that.
I don't think it does.
Every single thing matters when it comes to
I hate to say
TV,
that.
especially for women.
I disagree. It comes down to the ratings, to be quite honest with you.
Okay,
right?
cool.
I mean, it's about the money.
No. Give me an ugly woman on TV that's killing it.
That's killing it?
Yeah.
Goldberg.
No, she's not. No.
It don't,
Let's be clear.
It don't matter.
Whoopi is not killing it on TV, and the ratings is no.
That's subjective, though.
And she's not even on TV by herself. She on TV with a bunch of other lunch ladies.
So.
But you got her. I think Sheryl Crow was on there. You got a few other black women that's not the most attractive that still cover some form of news. And there's other women. The woman who was just complaining on CNN about being lowest paid. She ain't the most attractive. Allison Hill, whatever her name was, she ain't the most attractive. And she's on the media space as well. And it's a lot more of them. So it's
by that same measure, can you tell me a woman in general that's killing it?
A woman in general, Candace Owens.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Candace Owens.
Excuse me? She's not killing it.
Candace Owens does crazy numbers.
Candace
Owens does better numbers than Reid on YouTube alone.
Facts.
And she just got remonetized.
Listen, you can feel some type of way about it, but we're talking about data. We're talking about statistics. So you turning your nose up at a fact, not an opinion.
I'm not turning my nose up. I'm just telling you, like, for example, Candace Owens doesn't show up anywhere on any of my things. Now, she may be doing certain things on YouTube.
Go and look at the numbers.
She got numbers.
But there's two different numbers, right? So
y'all see how the conversation got right there from Dylan comment to now talking about numbers and ratings or whatnot. But we were really on Dylan's comment about the racial part of her slur towards Reid, but it got completely shifted straight over to Patrick, but Patrick holding it down.
So you're comparing YouTube and you're comparing cable.
No, I'm comparing viewership.
But there are different types of viewership, right?
Okay, if you want to look at viewership, you can just say MSNBC has a huge network and a large amount of subscribers that they built up over a period of time, and you can say that Candace Owens, who's recently left Ben Shapiro and whatever it is that they got going on, and then started to, because she wasn't even nurturing the channel that she's creating content on right now. She was actually putting out content on a completely separate Candace Owens channel that was owned by the Daily Wire, and she does way better numbers, way more viewers, and you can look at the difference between the readout and you can look at Candace Owens show.
But
and
Anton,
you can also see the live viewers.
Patrick is wrong on that. Yeah, Candace Owens definitely has numbers,
which dwarfs what MSNBC was doing on regular TV.
Yeah.
And that's
would you agree that it is a false equivalency to compare cable television viewership and streaming viewership? Do you think they're the same? Because I don't.
No, I think that
They're
cable viewer television viewership should be exponentially more because they're able to stream it to multiple different platforms. So
not anymore. He kind of got a point on that, but at the same time, when you look at streaming numbers, it's just a whole lot different. Everybody's streaming more than they're watching cable television. So
actually, Candace Owens is at a disadvantage, and she's still dwarfing the numbers of Joy Reid. She's operating at a disadvantage, yet she's still destroying her. With no promotion, no visibility, and no network behind her, no cameras, no team, no nothing, just killing it.
So I understand your premise that you think they should be killing it that way. However, the way that people now consume media, people are often streaming more than they're consuming cable television.
Right, and MSNBC also streams, and they also stream to YouTube. So it's not like you can't compare numbers to YouTube also.
Exactly. So but back in 2 minutes ago, you were trying to talk about how, look, and we're getting kind of way off topic.
No, because okay, I understand where both of them are coming from, but streaming, they put commercials on streams now. Cable television, nobody watch cable television, so the commercials that are usually on cable television, nobody's seeing them unless they're on streaming platforms. That's a fact. So the power of cable television has diminished because people don't watch it as much. Streaming has taken over.
Yeah, we right on topic. We right there.
You can't compare the two viewerships. So you compare Candace Owens and anyone on cable television, it's just not the same.
You are right. She's at a disadvantage, yet she's still doing
I don't think it's a disadvantage. There's more viewers.
How is she not at a disadvantage and she's doing it independently?
Because they're streaming. The channel, the YouTube channel, actually has more viewers than cable television, correct?
That's true.
No, it doesn't.
No, it does.
Candace Owens YouTube.
No. YouTube does have more constant viewers than cable television. I'm pretty sure. Cable television has went down a lot.
Viewership.
It's not supposed to anyway.
And here's the beauty.
Overall.
Here's the beauty of it. Candace Owens is organic, meaning that they're tuning in just for her. People aren't tuning in just for Joy Reid. Sometimes, like if you go into certain places, you go into
Googling this,
whatever. You go into a bank and they have some TVs up there or whatever, so on and so forth. Sometimes they just have it up there. And it's not even that people are even truly tuning into whatever it is that they watch, and it just means that those numbers are being juiced up, right? So again, I think that you're intelligent enough to be able to decipher between the two. And organic viewership by people that's doing it independently, that's absolutely dwarfing Joy Reid, shows that she needed to put more effort, or maybe she's just not as good as the people. Both.
I'm wrong. They said cable television subscribers is significantly higher than YouTube TV subscribers. So, okay.
Both in her effort and what she looks like and her ability to be able to communicate effectively.
So, Anton, I hear you, but according to ChatGPT, streaming numbers are higher than cable televisions. I'm just saying facts are facts.
You're missing what I'm saying. What I'm saying is MSNBC has the ability to stream and cable, yet Candace Owens is not on cable at all, and she's only streaming on a platform that's interdependent on YouTube. And so Joy Reid should be destroying her when you talk about all of the different ways in which she can reach viewers, yet Candace Owens continues to dwarf her. Is my point.
But that's only one show. You're making a false equivalency between the two platforms. But
no, you asked me to name a woman that is absolutely killing it. That's also a black woman, and I named Candace
on cable television. Okay, so let me extend my question. On cable television,
it doesn't matter whether you on cable television.
It is.
It doesn't because
you're trying to set a standard, bro. You're trying to set a standard that it's because of how Joy Reid looks that.
No, I said that it was all of the above.
I think it's about surely about her show, right?
It's about the show. The times that we are in, Donald Trump winning the presidency, the Republicans are taking over. What are we talking about? her rhetoric is not useful in today's society. Of course they're gonna try and get that shit up out of there. She was already on the media network for years, so it's not about her looks. So Anton, I hate to say it, but he definitely taking an L on that. It's not about the looks. She was already on the network for multiple years. It's about the rhetoric that's being spilled. I don't agree with the rhetoric, and the world doesn't need, or the United States doesn't.
Her show was subpar. I don't think how she looked has to do with anything, right? And then again, if you're trying to say, okay, well, you know, it's because of how she looks and she's not killing it. I'm like, tell me a woman on cable television that is killing.
Quote me accurately. I said it was all of the above.
Okay, well, which one is the more major factor? How she looks, or just the content of her show?
Content of the show.
Well, it wasn't just how she looks; it was the effort she put into how she looked. Nah. But the content, I don't think that you can separate any of it. I think that it all plays together.
No, because I'll say this: mainstream media, they don't mind putting someone up there that up front who might not be the most attractive, but knows what they're talking about, and possibly has a following and people following behind them. That's what matters. If you have a following, a strong following, people believe in you, people love your message, it don't matter if you butt ugly. It just doesn't. No, now don't get me wrong. Yes, do people want to look at a beautiful woman or whatnot? Yes, but if you have the right rhetoric, you have the right spill, you can make it. You might be one in a trillion. So
they're all equal factors?
Absolutely.
Okay. If you don't look good, people aren't going to be willing to look at you. Just like with the other Joy, people were, even though her content was terrible, people were tuning in because she looked good.
Okay, so
man, Joy wasn't the main thing of any of those sports shows. She was just the mediator. They put pretty women in the mediation part of like two guys speaking on topics. They not the main role in the show. They still got to have guys that know what they're talking about up there. Then they'll bring in a woman to kind of like piece in and like control the show.
And like,
what about the show that's replacing Joy? Right? It's another bald-headed woman.
I haven't seen the show air.
Simone Saunders is the bald-headed woman.
I don't know anything. I don't know anything about
rocking Simone. One of these.
I don't know anything about Simone Saunders.
See,
I can't speak to it.
That's why he about to take an L kind of.
Now?
Yeah, I just looked
at Michael Steele.
Better than like, unless you're really killing it, like a Candace Owens, like a Megyn Kelly, or somebody like that. Most people do better on panels. Those numbers do better. So
it's true.
Hey.
I don't know who these people are that you're talking about. So
I think where Joy Reid went wrong, I will say this: we're entitled to our own opinions, but we're not entitled to our own facts. And while I think Joy Reid could have had some valid points in how she felt, I think she did herself a disservice by not reading the room properly. So even if sis made a point, she ended up shooting herself in the foot because of the rhetoric she did talk about. And I agree with Anton to an extent. All of those things combined probably did lead to her losing her job. And unfortunately, I do think that looks matter. However, I do think that looks are subjective as well.
All right, they all agree in the wrong rhetoric. I'm gonna be honest, this time, nope. Her rhetoric was okay for the country during those years. You gotta think about it. It can't be an echo chamber. They need difference of opinions or whatnot to bounce off debates or whatnot. Yes, her rhetoric was very hateful, but I don't want to just say white people, but media in general know how to keep certain things in the pot to keep the conversations flowing. That's why they kept it there. They know, I mean, come on, that the heads of these media companies are majority white. So you got to know that they know what she's spilling, but it's drama, it's entertainment. It's mysticism. It's romanticism. They need that so they can feed off of that debate energy. But the time period that we're in, it's not needed anymore. They're going to can it. That's what it's all about. She was already in the space.
So who's to say who's attractive and who's not?
Yeah. I mean, look, the ratings were down, and that's going to get you killed no matter how good or bad.
Yeah, but in accumulation of all of that, I do think ties into.
She damn near looked less attractive than Joy Reid. I mean, look like Magic Johnson's son, low key.
Like, I think all of that could have led to that. I don't think it was just one single thing.
But at the same time, if the network had liked her enough, they would have moved her to another time slot. I think something similar happened to another host, I think on CNN or something, where they moved them from one time slot to another. They didn't fire him. They just kind of moved them around, and it was seen as a demotion, but he still had a job. Whereas for this person, which I don't know from a can of paint really, other than some little clips on YouTube, it was just off. So to me, that would say that A, her ratings were not that good, and B, the feedback, the comments from the viewers were negative enough that MSNBC was like, okay, well, we need to cut some positions, and she's it.
So wait a minute, who was that person?
That's the replacement.
She wasn't working for her employers for the benefit of her employer. She was doing what she was doing.
Wait a minute, that was who?
Herself.
That's the replacement.
Yeah.
I just googled Simone Sanders.
That's one of the.
Magic
There's one of
That's
three.
Magic Johnson's son.
Oh,
You are mean. Now, that's who you should have been giving energy to, Mr. Miller.
That's funny.
No lie, it do look like.
Yeah, it does.
Exactly.
Hey, I think it was a business decision. Look,
I
if you
do too.
put in the numbers, you
Yeah,
gotta go. Like
numbers weren't
it's
there.
plain and
She gotta
simple.
go.
Like,
And we don't know. She might have been difficult behind the scenes as well.
For
Yeah,
sure.
and-
She damn near was a racist working with the people that she called racist.
Hard to
You know,
do.
Terry, you make a good point, right? Because
it gives a little
she's
race.
still on the air. Terry makes a very, very good point. She's still on the air. So that tells me that it is safe to assume that when they wanted to take away her show, I would not be surprised if she was the type of person from, watching the show that she was like, nah, like if you take away my show, I'm out. Right. And there's some people that don't want to take demotions, right? Some people's just like, yo, I'm not going back. They feel like I don't care what the numbers are. Maybe it's a blip or whatever. Right. And so if I was the executive and her numbers were down, I would have got rid of her show too and put in another show that looks like they're popping more. And if you don't like it, then hey, you can take this demotion or you can take the door.
Quick question,
Right.
Sheree. You said that you think that it's racism. How is it?
No,
racism?
I don't know. I don't think that it's racism what they did to her. I think she's like borderline racist a little bit. So I kind of
Jerry.
don't really care about her rhetoric as much, and I don't see her as really like a fit to do this type of work. Maybe she should go into something else and maybe choose another career path. If the numbers aren't numbering, bye baby.
Jerry ready to jump down somebody's throat, looking like the episode of Martin when they all was at the table and he had the fake dog. She dressed all blacked out just like that.
That's just how I see it.
But can black people be racist though?
Yeah.
Yes.
Can black
Absolutely.
people be racist? Or
Because
can-
about
Yeah.
racist. I think prejudice. Black people ain't organized to act
No,
act
black
like
people can
racist.
be
People
racist.
are organized.
Yeah.
I think prejudice.
No, black people can be racist. Y'all
Yeah.
try to change the definition to include we don't have power and
Thank
It's
you.
not the definition, it's the term.
no.
See how Dylan came out with that egregious comment she made earlier? And then now she's trying to say black people can't be racist. Sure.
people can be racist as hell.
Well, I
Yes.
think racism is also a verb. You have to act on that. To me, to bring racism about, you have to treat people a certain way because, in a sense, you have this sense of superiority and you have organization to tell people where they can and cannot sleep, where they can and cannot go, where they can and cannot get an education. Whereas being prejudiced, you just have a sense of other people are not as good as you based on the color of their skin. So there is a
I'm looking at
difference
the
between
definition.
racism and prejudice. But as far as black
No, there's not. No, there's not.
I don't think
Like,
so.
yo, can we just read? Can we read? Look, the
read?
definition of racism is characterized by or
You had-
showing prejudice, discrimination, or antagonism against a person based on their racial ethnicity. So you show prejudice according to what? Someone's race.
What they look like. Yeah.
That's the lyrical definition.
And she
right?
got
You can't
cooked.
make up whatever it's supposed to be, power and all this other stuff. That has nothing to do with it. Like the definition is the definition, right? Black people can just say, I hate this other race.
Yeah.
And they are prejudging a person based on that race.
Yep.
That's
So you're saying
racism.
there's no difference between being racist and being prejudiced?
No,
They
look
too-
at the
I don't think so.
definition.
They're too similar.
Everybody's
So
gonna
it's
have their
not.
biases, but I think that a lot of black people now say, well, we don't have the power to make to make changes and to do this, you're still racist. If you're saying seer this, the CRACK, if you're still saying that, that's like the equivalent to a white N-word. So you're still saying that. Anytime a white person comes about, there's people making whole panels talking about, oh, well, make sure you don't do this as far as white supremacy this and white supremacy that, F the white people, F their slave. Like, come on, y'all. Like, it's old.
I will say this. I did see, I'm looking at definition where racism is more than just prejudice in thought or action. It occurs when this prejudice, whether individual or institutional, is accompanied by the power to discriminate against, oppress, or limit the rights of others. So I do believe that I think that they're saying that racism is more either racism or prejudice is when you can actually limit the rights of others, and most people can't really do that. So I think that's where the big difference between the two lies.
I think it's a difference between the words, and I think that black people can be both. I think that racism is based off of race alone. To be prejudiced, you can discriminate based off of a number of things, and it don't have nothing to do with just race alone. That's the difference between the two.
That's true. That's true.
So you can prejudge somebody based on their race, and that is being prejudiced, but it's not limited to race alone. That's the difference between racism and being prejudiced.
Yeah.
No, I mean, you can prejudge people for numerous things.
Clothing.
But if you're prejudging people because of their race, then that's
Correct.
racism. If
Correct. That's why it's a part. That's why it's a part of the word. It doesn't necessarily mean it's defined by.
I hear a lot of black people that
I can prejudge you based off of you being a woman.
Yes.
Correct. But I can't be racist towards you because you're a woman.
So no, that's sexist, right?
Correct. That's why
they all have different definitions.
That's the difference between being, but prejudging covers a multitude of things.
Yes.
Being racist is being dedicated to just race.
Race, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's why that's the difference between the two words. And I do think that you can discriminate, or you can hate somebody, or you cannot like somebody based off of their race alone. And black people absolutely can be and are some of the most racist people that I've ever ran into in my life.
I do agree with that. I'm not even gonna lie, y'all. If y'all still watching at this moment, in my 20s, I used to be a hardcore pro-black. I should have been fired from my job multiple times because I was very pro-black. I'm not even gonna lie. I used to always talk about black love, black improvement. But the only people who was making fun of me at that time period was my black friends. I was getting called Farrakhan. I was getting called Malcolm X. Yeah, man. But all the white people, they still treated me like a good person, which was crazy. I should have been fired multiple times. So.
I feel like they hate white people. Definitely one of those people, though, for sure. Like, I'm surprised she lasted this long on the network. And I was reading that she started, was it 2019 or 2020, like around the whole BLM thing. I'm really surprised she lasted this long. Because had it been a white person saying that, and that's when I kind of changed, because I used to think the same way, black people can't be racist. But if a white person was to do the exact same thing that she was doing, they would have been canceling off the air years ago. So
yeah, and that's unfortunate because I see a lot of people bought into this whole. They bought into it. Listen, it's popular to be discriminatory, towards any other group that did not align with black people.
Bruh, let me just say this, y'all. She was the managing editor of the Griot, 2011 and 2014. She was a political columnist, 2003, 2015. Then she was the editor of the Reid Report, a blog, 2014. And then 2014, 2015, she hosted her own MSNBC afternoon cable news show. So she was already hosting a show during that time period. Man, her range stretches so far with the rhetoric that she was speaking. So it ain't had nothing to do with her looks.
For the last 4 years, it was very, very popular to do so. And it was very unpopular to be a black person that called out the bullshit.
I will say she did go a little extreme.
And everybody switched up and they forgot about it. And then all of a sudden everybody was rocking with not discriminating based off of that. And it's funny because some of the people,
I will say this, she did go kind of extreme with her look. I'm not even gonna lie. Yeah, she did shave her head. And then because she used to have weave in her hair, I guess she tried to switch up from the weave, and then she tried to go with the natural hair. And it started going a little downhill from there, just being honest.
People that I seen that was the most pro-black were the ones that was spending all of their time dating white people. And that was the weirdest part about it.
Over by a white man, but talks about white supremacy.
Yeah, that's the wildest part about it. Which for me, I'm cool with you dating whoever it is that rock with you. You go where you appreciate it, not necessarily where you tolerate it. But the hypocrisy was amazing to me. Hypocrisy was amazing to me, and I just couldn't understand it. I don't get it. I just don't get it. I genuinely don't. But I don't know. It was popular to be, all black everything. Everybody was putting their Instagram profiles to the black thing, blackout. Colin Kaepernick, you know what I'm saying? Everybody was rocking out with that. That's when Kendrick Lamar really took off. All black everything, black very sweet of the juice. It was popular to be pro-racist, which was really pro-black.
It was crazy.
And then black people will make the excuse and say, well, just because I'm pro-black does not mean that I discriminate against everybody else.
No, it does.
Just because I celebrate my own doesn't mean that I'm removing you from the comment. No, that's exactly what you was doing.
Yeah.
So are you saying pro-black equals what? I'm sorry. Are you saying pro-black is racist?
Yeah.
Pro-black is definitely racist. Like I said, I used to be pro-black back in the day. I got out of it. I got scammed by a black car lot, which got me out of being pro-black in Atlanta. I'm so thankful. My brother told me, he said, I'm glad you got scammed out there, man, because he said you was talking crazy, real egregious. I was saying all type of stuff.
Because conversely, if you say you pro-white, you call somebody racist. You can't put standards on other people that you're not willing to go by yourself. If somebody says I'm pro-white and they're white, you would automatically say that they are racist.
No, I wouldn't.
Yes, I wouldn't think that personally.
I would.
No,
I'm not
even.
I would absolutely think
even if somebody's a nationalist, I don't think that they're a racist.
I would.
You need to be pro-white.
Interesting.
I would definitely think
Not
that.
me. Now, other people may, but me personally, I wouldn't think that.
Jerry, you capping. You done been on the panel way too long, and I think you just trying to look a whole lot more smoother to the crowd. Because if someone said that they were white power or whatnot, you would definitely think they were racist. Don't even cap like that. Come on.
Look, I understand being pro-white. In America, it's a benefit. And yo, for real, like I play on a baseball team and I have white guys on a baseball team that I run. And I have one in particular who is like, man, I'm glad Trump got elected. He's like, it's safe to be a white man again, right? And I'm like, okay, sure. But I don't begrudge him. He's still on my team.
That does not say that does not mean that he would ever let out of his mouth that he's pro-white. He would never say that.
No, but that's not what
he would never say this is a white-owned business that markets to white
Anton,
people.
you just said
automatically.
If somebody said
he wouldn't say that, but at the same time, he kind of hinted it by saying that a little bit.
They're pro-white, would I look at them as racist?
Have you
so
ever heard Have you ever heard anybody say that they was pro-white?
No, but I would not care if they did.
And it's not even about you. It's more or less about. See, we speak to the majority, not just based off of what you think. And the fact of the matter is, if somebody says that they're pro-white, overwhelmingly, the general culture and the general population would say you are racist.
I agree with you.
It's true.
I mean, you said you, so you personalized it to me. So I was responding to that. I agree with you that most people would take that in a certain way.
Yeah, most people would.
So you can't hold somebody to a standard that we're not willing to hold ourselves to. One of the most basic principles within even religion, even the Bible, is that you treat people how you want to be treated. You ask for when we pray the Lord's Prayer, forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors, you're asking to be forgiven according to how you forgive other people.
Yeah.
You basically are evaluating people and to be judged according to how you deal with other people.
So
the basic way that we can show that we love God is to show how we love other people on this earth.
But hold on, Anton. But here's the thing, right?
When you discriminate against a person based off of something that they can't control, you then put yourself at a crosshairs in the bullseye.
So here's my question, right? Just because someone wouldn't say they're pro-white doesn't mean they don't feel they're pro-white.
But that's true. But
hold on. Let me finish.
That is absolutely true.
So, and because they may not say it because it's faux pas in society, that it still means they can feel it. So just because a black person says that I'm pro-black doesn't make them any different than a white person that feels like they're pro-white.
You're so wrong, and you know you're wrong.
No, hell no.
You can never be more wrong than you have been at that one state.
Okay.
I think he definitely
it's the
took
same
it.
thing.
Okay,
Right. Yeah,
if somebody says that they're gay,
different than a white person that feels, because a black person says that I'm pro-black doesn't make them any different than a white person that feels like they're pro-white.
You're so wrong, and you know you're wrong.
No, hell no.
You can never be more wrong than you have been at that one state.
Okay.
You do have to say what you mean. I do believe he wrong on that one. You definitely need to say it, because right now at that point you will be speculating.
It's the same thing.
Okay, if somebody says that they're gay, do we then evaluate them to not be gay after they told you that they're gay?
That's a terrible analogy.
It's not a terrible analogy. You believe people. You believe people based off of what they tell you.
Yeah, Patrick taking the L on that.
If somebody tells me they are something, then I got to take you at your word. But I can't automatically assume that somebody is something that I think that they are just because I feel it. That don't mean
I don't know how this analogy even applies. It doesn't even make any sense.
Don't it? You just told me that if a person said that they're pro-black, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Patrick taking the L on that.
You made a pro-black analogy to a person literally saying it out of their mouth, I'm pro-black, to you assuming that somebody is pro-white, but they haven't said it.
The feeling is still the same, bro.
No, it ain't about those feelings.
I get what he's saying, because people do want to see the preservation of oneself. So yes, we can assume that most white people would want to see preservation of oneself, because that's what we live for. We don't want to see ourselves not replicate. So of course white people gonna want to see more white people, just like black people gonna want to see more black and brown people. So I get where he's coming from, but that analogy that Patrick made was bad. Anton got him on that part, but I understand where he's coming from.
No, because your premise.
Now you're going into female characteristics. We don't go
whoa.
That is a female characteristic. We don't go by feelings. We go by facts.
Well, so
you cannot convict somebody in the court of.
So what you're saying? No. I resent the fact that
you cannot convict somebody in a court of public opinion.
Number one,
you can't go to court and say I feel like.
Said you have to go. If I say pro-black, that means I'm racist, right? That is what you said, correct?
That's not what I said.
That's not what you said.
That's not what I said.
Okay, so rewind the tape and tell me again.
I said that if you evaluate somebody and
Anton wrong on that one. He definitely said if you pro-black, you racist, because I was speaking on it.
Say, okay, I have to hold somebody to the standard of saying I'm pro-black. Based off of your words, I said that you can't judge them differently. And then because if you looked at a white person and they said that I'm pro-white, society would automatically label them as racist. Okay, and so based off of your standards, because you introduced it, based off of your standards, you would have to apply the same thing to the opposite in order to be able to judge the situation. So don't put it on me. That's an example that you use that I held you to the standard for because you couldn't substantiate your argument.
Anton, now, again, it's late. Maybe I'm wrong. I swear, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, that I heard Anton say, people that are pro-black are some of the most racist people that I've known in my life.
Yeah,
that is true.
He said that.
Okay.
But and you know the key word is some of. It does not mean definitively that they are. Some of the most racist people is completely different from everybody that is saying that they're pro-black is racist.
He said that second part too, though.
Does not mean the same thing. See,
okay, so
no. You established the cultural.
I'm trying to clarify.
You established how we were going to do this tonight. You said words mean things.
Yep.
And that's why you started to evaluate the difference between being prejudiced and racist, and I had to correct you.
Actually, you didn't correct me.
No, you didn't correct
me. I absolutely corrected
my definition,
you. Absolutely.
No. You went on something else.
Nope. You went at Dalen.
No.
You went at Dalen. And you told Dalen.
Definition said.
You told Dalen that racist and prejudice meant the exact same thing. And then I had to correct you and help you to understand that it doesn't.
You did not correct me. Let's be
absolutely correct.
No, your definition is still wrong. I just wasn't arguing with you about it.
My definition of being prejudiced and
There
racist.
is no your definition is.
He only stated that prejudice uses other factors to prejudge someone outside of race, but it's still a form of it if you use it in a racist way.
The definition. It's
Google the definition and you can see it. But look, let's move forward. So I just want you to be clear with me. If someone says that they're pro-black, does that mean that they're a racist? Yes or no?
No, not by default.
Okay, great.
But however, to add context to that, some of the most racist people that I know are also pro-black.
Okay, that's fair.
He changed it. It's all good though. He changed it. It is what it is.
And Joy Reid is still a piece of shit. At the end of the day, if we want to come back full circle.
We at the end of it right there, y'all. They had their debate. They had their argument. Let me know who y'all thought won the situation. I feel like Patrick had some good points. I feel like Anton made some good points as well. But ultimately, I think in the beginning, what Anton did, he kind of was trying to save Dylan for her rhetoric that she spilled out. And then some of his points early on were definitely wrong when it comes down to, I think, why Joy Reid was getting fired. So let me know what y'all think about the situation. This is JayBReacts. Y'all like the video, comment below. And until next time, y'all, peace.